Welcome to Mexico City. We travel because we fall in love with people and places. 10 good reasons is all it takes. 10 reasons that awaken all our senses. Let us discover together, admire, grasp, breathe in and savor the best of Mexico City. Reason number 1, DF. For 2 centuries, up until 2016, Mexico's capital city was a federal district. Hence the DF abbreviation for Distrito Federal, a name that stuck. The locals still call themselves DFeños, Capitalinos or Chilangos, with a heightened sense of pride. The city is the largest in North America. Remains of many civilizations have been found in the drained lake basin that cradles the city at an altitude of over 2,000 meters. From the Teochichimecas people, followed by the Toltecs and the Aztecs, societies lived and built there before they were exterminated by the Spanish conquistadores and the epidemics they brought from Europe. The capital of the Aztec Empire was known as Tenochtitlan. Under Cortés, the Spanish Armada met the Aztec ruler Moctezuma II upon landing in the Americas and subsequently waged war against his successor Cuauhtémoc and erased their capital in 1521. On the ruins of the Aztec temples, in the center of the universe, a new world was built. A new colonial cathedral and a palace of the Vice King of Spain stand testimony on what is known today as El Zócalo, the old Aztec ceremonial center, now Mexico City's main square, together with the Federal District building and the archaeological excavation of the once majestic Aztec Templo Mayor. Aside from its monumentally long and tumultuous history, Mexico has stepped into the modern world with the right foot, upholding top progressive policies that protect and empower women, the youth, the elderly, and minorities, such as no-fault divorce, limited euthanasia, elective abortion, legal gender change, and same-sex marriage. Mexico City's Centro Histórico has been placed on UNESCO's list of World Heritage Sites. Archaeological treasures mixed with exquisite buildings, such as the Palace of Fine Arts, the Monument to the Revolution, too many palaces to count, 19th century Porphyrian French-style buildings and infrastructure, and impressive works of art, have turned Mexico City into one of the most impressive and fascinating capitals in the Americas. Reason number 2, Museo. Mexico City's Museo Nacional de Antropología ranks among my top favorite museums. It is brilliantly designed architecturally, with exquisitely appointed grounds and outdoor exhibits, meticulously staged and filled with treasures that cannot be found anywhere else. Aside from curating the one and only largest collection of ancient Mexican art and artifacts, the museum, in its modern times anthropological section on the second floor, showcases ethnographic displays of today's indigenous groups of Mexico. The first floor is divided between the geographic regions of the country, in chronological order. Central Mexico's part culminates in the Aztec Empire, while other regions from Mexico and the south of USA cover Oaxaca, Maya, Toltec, Teotihuacan, and other places and people. The backdrops created to display the collection are inspired by historic locations and events, for added authenticity, including the recreation of ancient tombs, temples, and cities. Some of the most notable pre-Columbian artifacts on display are the world-famous Aztec calendar stone that once belonged to the Aztec Templo Mayor, the statue of the god Xochipilco, found near the volcano Popocatépetl, or the colossal Olmec stone heads. Also on display is a model of Tenochtitlan, the pre-Columbian Aztec Mexico City. The diversity and the artistry of each of Mexico's peoples are truly a sight to behold. Reason number 3, FRIDA. Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera are Mexico's most well-known artists. Two celebrities, icons, visionary, geniuses, with outstanding talent and strong political convictions. Frida's work has been classified as naive folk art, and herself as a surrealist and magical realist. Most of her work, of about 200 retablos, consists of self-portraits infused with pain and saturated in the vibrant colors of her native land. Victim of a spine injury accident at 18, in addition to her polio illness during childhood, Frida never recuperated and spent a good part of her life in inconceivable discomfort and agony, something that her work sought to portray and process. She was married to Diego Rivera, Mexico's most celebrated muralist. His work graces, among others, the walls of UNAM, a major university in Mexico City, built in the modernism style and one of the very few such institutions that became a UNESCO site all by itself. His very large murals depict socially relevant subjects as well as pre-Columbian themes. Frida lived to 47. The Louvre purchased one of her pieces, and she had her first New York exhibit in her early 30s, though her first solo exhibit in Mexico was delayed until 1 year prior to her parting. Her colorful home is a touristic spot and a place of peregrination for her devoted admirers that have elevated her to the rank of a tragic bohemian goddess and a revolutionary heroine. The art world considers Frida Kahlo one of the most significant artists of the 20th century. Reason number 4, crafts. Mexico is one of the countries with the largest variety of handcrafts in the New World, rivaling Peru, as both are the birthplaces of the most advanced pre-Columbian civilizations, Incas, Mayas, and the Aztecs. Influenced by their ancestral culture, the artists and artisans of Mexico create true masterpieces. It's impossible to cover them all, but I'd like to mention some of my favorites. Mexico City has enormous mercados de artesanía, where you can find treasures. My top of the shopping list are the banderolas, decorative cut paper banners that come in vibrant colors, although the white ones make for the best wedding decorations ever. Beaded and silver jewelry come next, easy to fit in your carry-on, and make for the best gifts for friends and family. The assortment is vast, so take your time. The sombreros are so pretty, as are the embroidered boots and saddles, if you can manage to pack them. Among the pottery, the Barro Negro ceramics are exquisite and my top favorites, as well as the colorful mayólica of Talavera, inspired by indigenous art with heavy Spanish influences. In modern days, ceramics went back to reproduce more of the pre-Columbian art, such as the Mata Ortiz pottery. From tableware to home decor, figurines, and many other art forms, ceramics grace every aspect of Mexico's life, including the outside of buildings. Some of the most brilliant, colorful items you will find in markets are woven fabrics and traditional dresses. If you're lucky, you can even see how some of these are made, and hopefully discover something to suit you. What else can you find? Oichol beaded masks and figurines, papier-mâché cartoneria, alebrijes figurines, leatherwork, silverwork, goldwork, palm fiber weaving, and even the traditional tastuanes masks, each one a work of art by itself. These are used in a crazy intense traditional performance you have to see. Maybe next time. Reason number 5, Xochimilco. A UNESCO site since 1987, Xochimilco is a rare system of lakes the Aztecs used to build to separate fresh water from salt water by building dikes called chinampas, and thus secure water for irrigation and to prevent floods. The system extends over 120 square kilometers and is located near the volcanoes Tutli and Tzompol and the rivers Santiago and Tepapantla by Mexico City's Coyoacán borough. The ecosystem is home to many local varieties of plants, such as cedars, ocotes, the teposan tree, the strawberry tree, the Montezuma cypress, and the ahuejote willow tree, as well as rare species of animals, including the acosil crayfish, the Montezuma frog, the ajolote amphibian, and more. The latter was revered as the brother of Quetzalcoatl, the patron god of Aztec priesthood. due to encroachment and erosion, the system is projected to disappear in about 50 years. For now, the colorful boats called trajineras, all using girls' names, can take you for a trip around the area of the Chinampas with all your family and friends. And there is local food and crafts to sample. Who knows for how long? Reason number 6, mariachis. A UNESCO intangible treasure, the mariachis, originally from Jalisco, have become an urban phenomenon not only in Mexico, and are carrying today el son mexicano all around the world. With iconic songs such as Allá en el Rancho Grande, Ay Jalisco no te rajes, Cucurucucu Paloma, or Cielito Lindo, the ensembles compete to incorporate in their repertoires rancheras, cumbias, boleros, danzones, pasodobles, polcas, valses, joropos, baladas, chotis, corridos, sones, huapangos, and pretty much anything composed in the Latin and not so Latin world. The tradition started around the 18th century using instruments introduced by the Spaniards. A mariachi ensemble needs violins, trumpets, guitars, vihuelas, the guitar with a vaulted back, and a guitarrón, the giant guitar. Some groups have as many as 8 violins, if needed. The place to hire mariachis in Mexico City is in Plaza Garibaldi, preferably in person to check out their charro outfits and to discuss fees. It is said that thousands of mariachis gather there every day, late at night. Although not part of the band, you can often see mariachis being accompanied by groups of dancers during events or festivals, performing el zapateado, a dance that resembles the Spanish flamenco, or the picturesque ballet folclórico with their very fine-looking traditional costumes. Reason number 7, ancient Mexico. Scholars are still at odds about the mythology of the ancient civilizations that lived in today's Mexico. It is rather hard to identify religious systems or pantheons of gods, since they greatly vary by regions, and their secrets were lost through the Hispanic conquista. But what is commonly known, mainly from temple inscriptions and from folk tales, is that Kukulkan was to the Mayan what Quetzalcoatl was to the Aztecs, the feathered serpent god, one of their main deities. Among Mexico's most prominent ancient cities are the Mayan Chichen Itza, with a pyramid dedicated to Kukulkan, and built around 700 AD on the Yucatan Peninsula, and the still mysterious pre-Hispanic city of Teotihuacan, both UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Chichen Itza is dominated by the so-called El Castillo, the castle temple of Kukulkan. Teotihuacan's origins are unknown. Still, the city, established around 100 BC, remains the largest collection of Mesoamerican temples known today, including the Pyramid of the Sun, the third largest in the world, and the slightly smaller Pyramid of the Moon. Teotihuacan was destroyed for unknown reasons in 600 AD, and by 750 all inhabitants had left, leaving behind unsolved mysteries regarding the provenance of materials and objects found on the site. Other noteworthy cities, temples, and pyramids in Mexico are Palenque, Calakmul, Tulum, Cholula, Yaxchilan, Bonampak, Ekbalam, Monte Alban, Coba, and others, each with its own characteristics and its role in Mexico's ancient history. Visiting the pyramids and temples has become much more regulated in recent years, fortunately, and climbing the sites is currently prohibited. As with all precious things the past has left us, the best way to admire them is from afar. Reason number 8, Calaveras. No other country commemorates their dead with more enthusiasm and color than Mexico. The Dia de los Muertos is an all-Hallowtide kind of celebration that spans over All Saints' Eve or Halloween on October 31st, All Saints' Day November 1st, and All Souls' Day on November 2nd, plus several other remembrances. Although these are days of prayers, they become in Mexico an all-out celebration akin to a costume carnival. The main purpose is to reunite with the dead for a short period of time through a family altar, where the departed are invited to enjoy their favorite foods and revisit their loved ones. This includes music and dance, cooking, sugar treats, marigold flowers, delicate banderolas de papel picado, the sheer paper-cut banners, and wonderfully creative face paintings, disguises, and costumes. What's on the menu, you might ask? Well, aside from sugar skulls and other sweets, the agave wine named pulque is served, as well as atole, a cornflower masa-based hot drink spiced with cinnamon, guava, or vanilla, and its chocolate version named champurrado. The main dish are the divine tamales of pork and chicken, some cooked in a ground oven. On a diet, hibiscus tea or flor de Jamaica tea is also on the menu. Just like on Halloween elsewhere, people also hit the streets and have a blast, all made up with their calavera faces. Cities, towns, and villages turn into carnival venues and costume parades, all with dark rings around their eyes and toothy grins coming to get you. Reason number 9, cuisine. One of the top best in the world, Mexican cuisine feels like everyone's to go to when hunger hits. One of the secrets of Mexican food are the ingredients. A large variety of these are native to the region, thus Mexicans had a lot of time to figure out what's the best way to combine them. Among them are varieties of beans, squash, avocados, tomatoes, corn, sweet potato, chili peppers, agave, cacao, nopal, chia, huitlacoche or corn fungus, and other veggies I can't pronounce and I have no idea what they're for. To these add chapulines, escamoles, cumiles, and ajuatle, meaning crickets and larvae, and some bugs. All acquired tastes for next time. But what I do know well are tortillas, tacos, quesadillas, and burritos, for example. Made of different kinds of flour, these stand in for bread in a large number of insanely mouth-watering Mexican dishes with meats, cheeses, and vegetables, plus delicious sauces and a good drizzle of lime juice. And then there is guacamole and mole. While guacamole has already become a universal dip of avocado, onions, tomatoes, and lime, mole, a holiday food, is a bit hazy. I once asked an old lady in Mexico how is the chocolate brown paste made, and her answer was de pepitas y otros ingredientes, which means of seeds and other ingredients, what wasn't helpful at all. Other main staples in today's Mexican cuisine are foods brought by the Spaniards: meats, dairy, rice, wheat, sugar, olives, onion, garlic, and limes, as well as the recipes for churros and alfajores. A bit of trivia: only 2 world cuisines have been so far listed as a UNESCO Intangible World Cultural Heritage: France and Mexico. Reason number 10, tequila. Tequila is indisputably Mexican, and since 1974, it is recognized as the country's intellectual property, while its ancient industrial facilities and groves at the foothills of the Tequila volcano, dating back about 2,000 years, are a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Tequila can only be made in Mexico in its 100 distilleries, producing 900 brands with 2,000 brand names or varieties. The Mexican jimadores still harvest the agave plant by hand with the koa knife. The part of the plant that is used is the core, the piña, after cutting off the leaves. These can weigh up to 100 kilograms. At the distillery, the piñas are baked, mashed, and shredded, and the resulting liquid or mosto is then fermented with yeast and later distilled. Distilled once, it's called joven. Distilled twice is called tequila blanco, while aging it in barrels produces tequila reposado and añejo. The spirit called tequila has to be made from the blue agave plant only, in the states of Jalisco, Guanajuato, Michoacán, Nayarit, and Tamaulipas. Any other agave-made spirits can't be called tequila. Mexico, though, grows agave in many other places, thus giving birth to the artisanal spirit called mezcal, or the elixir of the gods, made from the piñas of 30 different agave plants, including the maguey, tobalá, espadín, and many others. cooked for 10 days, roasted underground, fermented and distilled to produce a smoky flavored liquor. The bottles contain at times the larvae of the moth that infests the agave plant called gusano de maguey, while several ingredients can be added during the distillation process to create different flavors, such as sugar, spices, fruits, or chicken breast, but only during festive days since it is costly. A trivia I was not aware of until recently. A good mezcal is something very fine. Tequila is usually drunk in shot glasses with salt and lime, and the mezcal just neat straight up. Salud! Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please don't smash any buttons. Just gently like and subscribe for more. The world is vast and it's all yours. Next time, you might also want to fall in love with this next destination over there. Thank you.